Hey everyone, it is late at night and I'm Norman. So tonight I'm doing my first impressions of the second watch that I recently picked up as sort of a last hurrah watch. And this is definitely not a piece that you would have expected. There is now a G-Shock in my collection. So my youngest actually has this same exact watch, and I went with this because I was after a tough solar G-Shock, and this was the only one that I was seeing that wasn't $300+. This is more expensive than the battery powered ones, which are actually pretty affordable. And this one's not terrible. But I didn't want to have to be changing its battery, so I figured I would go with something that would last longer than a battery. I believe the capacitors in these go for about 10 years. I'll have to look that up for the full review. But I kind of like the red colorway, the touches of red on the faceplate. And this week I've actually put it to work. So all week long my wife and I have been shoveling gravel and bark, and I wore the G-Shock, because that's what it's made for. So tonight I'll share my first impressions of this watch. Let us begin. And here is the G-Shock Square up close. Yeah, I kind of like that red colorway there. Just the little outline there. I've gone through and made some adjustments to some of its configuration. So you can see down here, my battery charge is full. So there's low, medium, high. And so I turned it off of energy saving mode because this will be getting some kind of light pretty much every day, just sitting out on the shelf. And I turned the light delay up to 3 seconds. So when you turn that on, it stays on for a few seconds. And I set the home city, just got everything going. In the full review, I will go over this module in detail, but as G-Shocks go, this one isn't huge. It's not overly thick. I mean, it is kind of large, but not for a G-Shock. The straps that are on these are pretty comfortable. I haven't really looked at the case back yet. That's pretty cool looking. But yeah, it's pretty wild having a G-Shock again. What inspired me to finally pull the trigger on this was a couple things. My brother-in-law wears these all the time, and a few weeks ago we had dinner with him and he was wearing his and it looked cool. That, and when I was doing some outdoor work, helping out with my wife's garden and whatnot, I was wearing the metal G-Shock that I actually have available for trade, and it felt great having this super rugged, absolute tool watch on. And so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get a G-Shock. And I went with the regular display. It's just much easier to read. And it looks cool. It just looks kind of old school. I like it. And it's crazy having the day date on there. I'm so used to watches that don't have date windows or anything, because I prefer the clean dials. On something like this, it's fine. It's all part of the design, right? I remember as a kid just loving LCD displays like this. It's pretty cool having one now. Yeah. So I'm gonna spend some time with this watch, play around with this module some more, and I'll do a full review of it. We'll take a tour of how this operates. And I think this piece actually does attempt to sync the time, but I don't know if there's any signals that it can pick up. I thought I read a while ago that some of those were going away, so that these would just not have anything to pick up to adjust the time automatically. That's another thing I'll have to look into before I do the full review. So yeah, keep your eyes open for that one. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that button and the notifications. When I do the full review, you can catch that video. Let's see what the G-Shock looks like when you're wearing it. And here it is on my 7-inch wrist. My wrist is 55 millimeters wide. And look at that, it isn't huge at all. It looks decently sized, properly old school. Yeah, it's not super thick. Yeah, I really like the way this looks. It looks cool. Lately I've been wearing it late at night, and here and there I've had to use that light that's on it. Yeah, pretty cool having one of these again. Way back in the day I had a couple of the translucent ones. That was back when they had the button at the bottom for the light. I had a translucent orange one and a translucent green one. The battery died on them, so I took them in for new batteries and was told that neither of them work anymore. And at some point I just got rid of them. Later on I had a couple different G-Shocks, the ones with the analog hands and the digital display. The other one actually had a depth meter thing on it, so when you're in the water you can see how deep you are. That one was huge. But yeah, this looks super cool. So there you have it. I now have a G-Shock in my collection again. It has been years, and this is the first time I've ever owned a G-Shock Square. I like it. Thanks for watching.